Hello, children, and welcome to another episode of Playing Fag is Fucking Drunk. We will be starting a new game, and we will be starting a career game. Because fuck casual mode. KSP. A wonderful game that was ruined by the selfish cocksucking bastards that it had as developers, who fired all the actual developers that were doing everything worth a damn. The first thing to know about KSP's career mode is that it hates you and wants you to suffer in innumerable ways. The second thing to know is that mods save the game from itself, and that all the new content they're releasing for the game right now is shit that mods had added literally several fucking years ago. But I digress. We're playing with mods. That's all I want you to know. There's even a package manager for it. CKAN. CKAN. Fucking beautiful. That's from the useless fucking mod. I only have that mod for the boat parts, or the watercraft parts. They're an extremely old mod. Yeeyehaeaoroauf, I believe it is. And a lot of the parts have not aged terribly well. But it's the only seaplane parts I could get, so that's also very old. God, it's just sad. Literally, the only engine they give you is the fucking fleet. Oh, that's useful. Huh. We, of course, are playing with the Kerbal Engineer mod. Basically, it provides you all the telemetry information that MechJeb does without having MechJeb's handholding. MechJeb was, in my humble opinion, mandatory in earlier versions of the game, simply because you had no telemetry. The maneuver node system being introduced to vanilla, which, in my humble opinion, aside from docking, is the last time that the fucking devs actually introduced a feature that was done better than what mods have been able to add. Once the maneuver nodes were in the game, that's all she fucking wrote. Really? Don't even have landing legs? Fuck this bullshit. Oh wait, I do. These can do in a pinch. I want to hold Q. There we go. They're heavy, but they work. And now we need parachute. I guess that counts, but not really. Alright, are you ready for the first incredibly underwhelming flight? I'm sure you are. I decided to duck into Tohu Projects at IRC, where I haven't been for a while. I'm talking more in there right now than I've talked for like 6 months. And they're all like, damn, son, what the fuck happened to you? And I'm all like, oh shit, we're gonna need more time than just tonight to talk about that. Maybe we can get a little science right here on the pad. Done. Oh, right, I forgot. I activated my fucking parachute immediately, didn't I? Because KSP's automatic staging system is the biggest pile of fucking shit I have ever seen. The staging logic hasn't been updated since like before fucking version like 1.0 or something, or 0.16, something like that. Back when you still had the fucking launch tower, this huge ugly ass piece of shit to the side of the launch pad, the old base and all that. Fuck me running. If there is one thing I fucking hate about KSP, it is the auto stage logic and the motherfucking cock-gobbling shit stain that coated it. If you're listening to this, I hope you fucking die. I hope you gargle broken glass mixed with liquid AIDS. You understand me? Die! Just beat the shit up. Dude, wait. Wait a minute. I actually have to get science. The science. The science. Don't know if this is gonna be worse shit, but whatever. We're up here. Maybe we'll get it. Yeah, that's how you start the game. This is pretty much how you start the fucking game. This shit. This bullshit. Wow, 19 science. Whoopity motherfucking do. How about this? Let's put the fucking parachute here. How about that, you fucking piece of shit? You asshole, you fucking goblin. Oh my god. Not much, man. Just hope life's treating you tolerably. Oh, rape stove. Oh, my friend. Vain hope, my friend. Vain hope. All that clicking was me just fucking, wow. You know. We're gonna go over here. Poof, engine burnout. We want to get over the shores. Over the water. Okay, it's gonna be the water biome today. I guess we can get a crew report too, can't we? There we go. Keep the crew report. I do have a mod installed that actually gives you a rundown of the science you have collected and have not collected. There we go. That's useful. It's very useful for giving you an idea of what science you could get and are forgetting. But wait until we get into my favorite part of KSP, the early game ghetto ass fucking rockets. Because you see, I played this game before we had any of the nice parts, like fuel lines. And we had to learn how to do all sorts of ghetto shit. At one point, this game didn't even have fucking landing legs in it. You just had to fucking improvise that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we had to get fucking creative. And newbies playing this are all like, oh shit, it's so hard to get the science for that shit I fucking absolutely need. And us fucking experienced dudes are like, bitch, you don't know suffering. Bitch, you don't have a fucking clue. By the way, I am playing with a modified tech tree. Because holy shit, the basic tech tree is a fucking gigantic pile of shit. So, just keep that in mind. Plus, I forgot, I got a mod to add some extra science equipment. Some extra experiments, actually, that the stock game doesn't give you. Let's see, what do we need the most? Stability, important. Yeah, we probably need to get to that first fucking engine, you know? Alright, now that we got some actual liquid fucking fuel engines, we can really start kicking ass and taking names, right? Let's get rid of this useless piece of shit. Oh yeah, we got some shit now. Oh, we got a fucking stack decoupler. Oh, that's some cool shit right there. Look at this. Now we're doing stages, my man. Can you fucking imagine? Hey, basic fin, good enough. There's still no explanation of why the fucking game's map is empty. By the way, I'm playing, this is not like the most current version of the game, because the only thing installing the current version of the game does is break all your mods in favor of vanilla features that are basically inferior to the mods you had. So, you know, we just don't even fucking bother. We don't talk about mods. See what I mean about the auto state? Why the fuck would you disconnect both of these at the same fucking time? There's absolutely no fucking reason. The auto stage logic basically exists to make your fucking life miserable. To punish you for forgetting to unfuck it. That's all it really amounts to. You'd be forgiven for thinking that the developers are a bunch of greedy Mexicans that just hate everyone. But they are. That's exactly what they are. They fired everyone with talent from the dev team, and they produced this gigantic pile of shit, which exists only to insult our intelligence and our hope. Don't know. Magnetometer, don't really need those. Don't need those. Don't think you can run it in the surface. Oh, you can use it on the surface, but not during flight. So we'll just put this on the fucking bottom, right? I want to recover it so it don't break. Let's put it there. Do we have a... I think we have a single fucking antenna, don't we? Yeah, we had the Fable Communicron 16 for all that's fucking worth. And no fucking engine to power it, so who fucking cares? What about structural ground? No launch clamps even? Alright, cool. Well, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Can't even use the communication because it'll drain the battery and then we won't have control of the ship. But who cares? Who cares? Not me. I don't fucking care. Whoop, 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 whoop. Log the data. Come on, bitch. Come on. Keep design. Now, during an actual game without the mods, you would have the benefit of this extra experiment. Because God forbid we have anything nice. notice as the air gets thinner, these miserable little fins become a lot less effective. But it's cool. It's cool. The rocket's also getting smaller. So, you know, we're getting more control from the control motion gyroscope in the cabin. Theoretically. Theoretically. Nice. Get a crew report from up here. That's not very useful, is it? There we go, we're in the upper atmosphere. Almost burned up, but not quite. Really? We're still getting this shit from the shores? There you go, max that out. I'm gonna save, let's see, what's my aspiosis here? 325,000 meters. Oops. And we're only at like 94. Let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna save that last rocket for deacceleration. And we have one from space. Do. Oh, okay, cool. I have a recovery mod, but the debris crashed. It did not land itself. Whoopity fucking doo-dah day. He broke records. Nobody cares. Because the Russians are lying bastards and already beat us to it. Make sure we're pointing direct retrograde. Got plenty of electric charge for the CMG. There we go. Now we're in trouble. Which means... What the fuck? Was that already spent? Then we're fucked. Welcome to KS fucking P. Welcome to KSP, where nothing goes right and everything is fucking miserable. Or maybe it was just a staging logic that was wrong to condemn this dumb motherfucker to death. Who gives a fuck? Who even fucking cares anymore? Not me. Not me. I don't. I don't. I don't. Nope. 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 I don't care anymore. I don't fucking care about any of these little green cocksuckers. It's like Dwarf Fortress, right? You know, at first you're like, oh wow, I care about my dwarves. Look at all their little secret stories and the important little details of their lives. And then you realize that they're not real. They're just little machines that can ignore the death of their wife because they just ate in a really nice dining room or some shit like that. And that's when you realize, you know, your care turns to contempt. Every fucking time that they manage to die by doing something stupid, because they're literally too stupid not to stand on the thing that they're about to fucking, like, destroy. You know, shit like that. And your care turns to hate. And instead of trying to keep them alive and going to great lengths to do it, you start engineering situations in which their brutal deaths actually occur. And you just don't give a shit. Because why would you? Why would you care about the little beasts when they don't care about you? You know, their patient overseer wrestling with the UI from the depths of fucking hell. Why would it? Why? You know? Why would you care? Why would they care? Why would anybody fucking care? I tell you. Nice fucking spaceship. You know what? Fuck it. Just fuck it. Just fuck this stupid little cunt and everything about him. Fuck you! Fuck you and everything you ever loved. Fuck you, you miserable asshole. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. We're done. Jeb's dead. Fuck him. Fuck everything about him. Just fuck it. And that's what I think about the Equal Rights Amendment. Fuck you. For nails? For nails, my man? For fucking nails? Why the fuck do I need to No one fucking told me you had to do that for fucking nails. For fucking nails? Man, you may as well not fucking bother at that point. You may as well just fucking embrace the fact that nothing will ever work right. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Just fuck it. Look at these stupid pieces of shit. Look at this bullshit. I still don't understand why parachutes are under utility. It makes no fucking sense. Exactly, Azuro. Just like a fucking real career. Oh, okay, cool. Whatever. The parachute deployed. Because of the auto-staging logic. I want to die. I just want to fucking die. This triangular thing actually works okay. It's kind of like a wiffle bat. Exactly, Tarup's shuttlecock. That's exactly the concept. Wiffle bat. Why did I say wiffle bat? Because I'm drunk. You know, it happens. The struggle is real. Cancel. Fuck. Because the fucking parachute didn't fully deploy in time. Because it's set to default for only 1,000. I don't even fucking know why. Fuck everything. Just enough. Gee, we can steer now. Guess now we have to actually go to the upper atmosphere. So... I swear to fucking Christ, my family. You got tools outside. They'll get wet. I don't care. That's why I fucking left them out there. Fuck! I hate boomers. I hate boomers so fucking much I could scream. Like, you have no fucking idea how much I hate boomers. I can't even begin to describe how much I hate boomers. Fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, thank you for the fucking news flash. I had no fucking idea about the things I left exactly where I want them to be fucking left. Nobody fucking cares. It's a $10 hammer, motherfucker. Like I'm gonna give a fuck about 2 rust spots on it. Life is not fucking long enough to go around picking things up like that every single fucking time and then trotting them all out. By the time you get all your fucking tools back out, it's already like noon. Like, fuck. Jesus. Fuck. But at least you can save that $10 investment in that fucking hammer. Just fuck. Boomers. Please. The fuck. Jesus. I'm not gonna use a fucking hatch anyway. My god, the auto stage logic actually worked for a fucking change. Yeah, we're not getting those. Oh wait, this is the LVT 30, isn't it? Not the 45. So we'll just use my pogo stick method, where you just fucking. There you go. Just kind of fucking fire the engine when it's kind of roughly pointed in the direction you want to go. You can kind of like increase the swing a bit if you know what you're doing. Welcome to KSP, by the way. This is how you fucking play this game. This is just... I swear to God, I'm doing just as good fucking hammered as I do sober. Like, you can think things through, and you can fucking try and adhere to real engineering principles, and just still get fucked, because nothing matters, and the world is run by fucking clowns, and that's reflected, our art reflects reality. So, you know, that's just the way it fucking goes. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the engine will survive. Let's see until we get right down into the thickest air. The thickest air. We'll see. We'll see. What's the impact tolerance of this engine? I don't even remember. We'll find out. Now, if I could activate SAS, it wouldn't be a problem. That could usually keep the thing balanced like a pogo stick. There we go. Let's try. Let's try. Nope. Save the fuel tanks! No, I don't want the hangar. God damn it. Where's that other fucking dumb building? Fuck this place. There we go. No, I want to fucking... I gotta take a... No, god damn it. Where's the fucking... Where you take the goddamn contracts. No. Okay, cool. Whatever. These are all add-on mod stuff, because Jesus Christ, the default contract system is the biggest pile of fucking shit. By the way, this is also a mod long before they actually added it to vanilla. No. Yeah, whatever. What the fuck? We're just gonna go check out another biome, get to sweet, sweet science. Alright, get the mystery goo, doesn't give a shit. Temperature logs do. Yeah, you could, but that's even more fucking effort than just fucking clicking on it, so who gives a shit? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, basically everything costs a shitload of money to make things not retarded. Career is basically just suffering, and I have no fucking idea why I'm bothering with it. Fucking Christ. Hurry the fuck up. Very pretty. Watch no cities. Where do other fucking Kerbals live? Pretty much. Oh, just, yeah, that mode. I don't really worry about the money. I do like the money because I like being efficient. There is a challenge to it. That's a challenge you care about when you're sober. When I'm drunk, I just act like I'm fucking Lockheed Martin. Fuck it! There's always more of that. We got lobbyists. Law, I like that green for a reason. Just painted with Kerbals. All the wee Kerbals. Alright, let's see. Oh, so I can't actually take a... I was just thinking I could probably get a report, but I obstructed the hatch. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Now we can actually fucking get some shit done. Now we can go to space. Why did they put thermal in its own category? I'll never fucking understand. Two of those. There we go. Now that we have liquid fuel engines, we have an alternator, which means we can actually use one of these fucking things. No, we had the radial decouplers. Wow, we're getting fucking fancy now, baby. We're still stuck with fucking retard tanks. Hey, why not, right? Actually, we're probably gonna need a fucking vectored thrust. Exactly on the fucking decouplers. Yeah, but not centered for some reason, because, you know, fuck you. This VAB twitchiness is probably the source of 99% of the hate you will feel playing this game. Now, when I say hate, I mean gnarly, dark, deep hate. Oh, fuck you. You're fucking kidding me. You're fucking kidding me. You got to be fucking kidding me. I I don't fucking even it right now. I really don't. This is why I don't even know why I fucking play career mode. I really fucking don't. Basically, it's just it's a fuck you from start to finish. And there we go. As soon as we're out of the thick air, we fucking wander like a son of a bitch. At least we have vector thrust to kind of get us somewhere. I'm angling up because I want a little more atmosphere to plow through on the way down to slow down. We've actually got a heat shield now. Although, honestly, the heat shield, you can usually bring about half of the ablator resource if it lowers the weight significantly. Because I've never actually used all of it. It's just, the heat model in this game is all sorts of fucked. Play RRS if you want a game that's not shit. There we go. I'll just keep that. We'll transmit it if it looks like I'm actually going to land somewhere where I can get a different crew report. RRS is basically a real scale solar system. Earth is actually the size of Earth. The solar system is the size of the solar system. Much more realistic experience. KSP is the planet of Kerbin is badly scaled down. Kerbin is so badly scaled down, in fact, that the gas giant Joule is about the size of Earth. To give you an idea of how things are nerfed a bit. And yet, despite being like the size of our moon, Kerbin has one gravity. It's denser than a fucking neutron star. I shit you negative. RRS scales everything up to solar system normal, and it really teaches you how fucking hard space actually is. See, what do we earn? Speed record. No, that's the old messages. Okay, we're breaking some distance records. We're getting a little bit of cash for free for just breaking records. No, I wouldn't go that far, my man. I wouldn't go that far. They at least have enough wits about them to know when they're gonna die. This, by the way, is pretty much what you saw from the original Mercury capsule, which is fucking all in your instruments. Trick, you can enter. Usually, you can enter time warp, and it'll cancel the movement if it's over 4x. I guess we're still in physical time warp, yeah. But we still have the wiffle bat effect. Not wiffle bat, goddammit, birdie effect. Badminton birdie. Shuttlecock, there you go. Shuttlecock effect. The ablator is doing its job, or will soon. I hope. Once deployed, it acts as a drogue, kind of. Which can help. The better cockpits have better instrumentation. Oh wait, you can't even take a surface sample until you update the fucking astronaut complex. Man, they just fuck you in so many unusual and fascinating ways in career mode. It's for people that hate themselves. That's why I play it. 35, huh? Not enough for fucking anything. Okay, cool. What contracts did we have? Escape the atmosphere? Alright, we'll go to space. We'll fucking do that. You sons of fuckers. Actually, first we need to upgrade this fucking launch pad so we're not completely fucking retarded. Not even sure if that's possible. Do we even have the cash for it? 17,000 and we need 50,000? You fucking absolute you fucking animals. You absolute fucking animals. You fucking animals. Sure, of course. Why not? Why wouldn't it be? Why would we have anything nice? That's not enough to get us to space. I literally can't get us to space. I don't have the money to update the fucking... And I already took the 2 contracts, so I don't know how to get more fucking money. Fuck you. If I go straight up, I'll just... Wait. I'll just die on impact. Because I can't fucking deaccelerate fast enough. You just can't... That's why I have to angle at the start. That's the only option. Well, liquid fuel should be more efficient. That's the mass. 6,000. Fuck me. What? Fuck. Atmosphere thickness isn't important. Once it starts to get thin, that tells you a lot about when you should turn on RCS or when your control surfaces lose effectiveness, when you should begin gravity turns, shit like that. I think we're right about gravity turn altitude here. I'm mainly trying to get to space. I don't really need the horizontal speed, but I don't want to come in too steep because I won't have enough time in the atmosphere to deaccelerate. So it's kind of a balancing act there. I should probably burn straight up now. I think I got enough of my trajectory. I'm going to try to raise aspiosis as much as possible with the fuel I got left. Aposis? I don't know how you fucking pronounce that bullshit. Whoops-a-daisy. I'm not piloting very carefully here. Come on, get me to 70. Get me to 70, baby. You can do it. Yeah, yeah, there we go. There we go. Who's a bad girl? Yeah. Do I have a decoupler on this? No, I don't. Well, I can just use a fucking rocket as my heat shield. That works. That works. I believe jettisoning the heat shield should detach the rest of the rocket. I hope. I think it'll do that. Kind of. If not, we're fucked. And it's a trip back to the VAB. As fucking usual. Apoapsis? Gay. Yeah, why not? Always helps to have more parachutes. The more parachutes you have, the more load you can return to the planet. I know, right? It's crazy, right? But remember, you have to slow down a certain amount, or you can't deploy the chutes at all. And I don't have drogue chutes on this bitch. So, you know. And it looks like we're coming in pretty fucking steep. We're probably fucked. On the other hand, I did bring a shitload of mass to slow down with. And this... maybe I should turn broadside. There we go. Let's use the whole thing as a fucking air brake. There we go. I might be able to land the whole ship. That wouldn't be too bad, would it? Ghost, that is KSP. That is KSP in a fucking nutshell, my man. I'm gonna go get another drink and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I got a snack too. And I walked into the front room and I found my family is watching a British movie on Netflix. A British movie on Netflix. What the fuck were they thinking? Like, who thought this is a good idea? British movies, man. British fucking movies. So yeah, we recovered the entire rocket. So Ghost, on this whole 1960 thing you mentioned, several versions back. How in the actual name of fuck did I get 80 science? Damn, that works. In any case, at one point I was actually forced to, and I'll see, all the science we gets us more science, but on the other hand, we need shit to be not retarded, right? I'm sorry, but that takes priority. So anyways, I ended up with my big rockets. This is back before we had fuel lines. So the only staging option was to add more boosters. The good old KSP standby. And eventually I had problems with my rockets that were literally falling apart in the launch pad before I could launch them. Because KSP was horribly optimized at the time, and half the reason people needed to use MechJeb is because your giant rockets were a fucking slideshow for the first 2 minutes of the launch. So eventually, what I ended up resorting to was using launch clamps. And I would have to suspend my rockets in a web of fucking launch clamps. And later, I found out that the actual Russian, I think it's the RS-45, the one they actually used to launch the first Soyuz missions, there's those side boosters, had so many problems with falling apart in the launch pad. Guess what their solution was? You guessed it, my man. Suspended it in a web of launch clamps. I tell ya, art fucking imitates life. So let's not risk that again. We had the non-fucking retarded fuel tank now. We can use the more efficient engine. Still don't have enough to upgrade the fucking launch pad or the VAB. Because I foolishly took the seemingly easy contracts first. Because God fucking forbid. Yeah, right? Pretty much, Ghost. Pretty much. Kerbals die. Just a lot of fucking Kerbals die. That's all Kerbals really do. Really? We made all that money and we're still only at 24,000? Fuck me running. Actually, the Soviets are more competent. Now, the whole thing with lol Kerbal is, the meme started because shit blows up. Or players are incompetent like me when I'm drunk here. Or even when I'm sober, because hey, fuck it. But God fucking damn it. What the fuck? There we go. But, even compared to the Soviets, the Kerbals are pretty bad. Part of the reason lol Kerbal is a thing now is because Career mode forces it on you. You really don't have an option to be not retarded. That you really don't. Let's see, did I go over the part limit? Yes, I fucking did. Is it? Or did I misread it? Wow, I'm drunk. Hold on, let's see. Oh my god, it is! We're good. We're cooking with gas now. Alright. We still had the 30 part limit. Oh well. Still, the weight limit's what really fucks you. Right? So now we could throw these bad boys on. Yeah! Yeah, get fucked! Yeah, we're gonna find out who's the boss now. Wait a minute. Getting these fuckers centered on these fucking things is so goddamn annoying. There we go. Alright. The basic bitch Mark 1 is ready for fucking liftoff, my man. Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, we got the barometer already. Cool. Alright, let's throw some of these fuckers on there. Just one of these. Actually, get rid of this heat. This is a little more eloquent. Eloquent? No, elegant, not eloquent. Fucking hell. Please don't. I hate space planes. They don't work in this fucking game. Oh, fuck you and fuck your mother and fuck everything you ever fucking did. Where's the fucking parts count? 3 fucking parts I gotta lose. Fuck you. Fuck Jeb. I don't miss Jeb. Jeb can stay dead for all I fucking care. Fucking Jeb. What the fuck? Come on, bitch. The CMG ain't doing much. There we go. Finally, air resistance is low enough. I can just with the control motion gyroscope in the cockpit. Not just a simple gyroscope. Control motion gyroscope actually creates enough force and has like 3 gimbals on it. So instead of, it's not like a reaction wheel that only goes in one dimension. You can adjust the control of the ship in any direction. Wow, that's a high aspiosis already. Asopis, Asopace, yeah, what the fuck ever. We might be able to get to orbit with this bitch. We'll see. We'll see. Well, actually, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my fuck! One thing to know about the early game is it's hard to transmit science because you don't have batteries. So you're limited to what's in the cockpit, and you kind of need that to control the ship. But these things have an alternator that'll generate electricity while the engine's burning. So try to transmit science between burns. What the fuck? God damn it. That was a little too fast. Alright, let's try that again. You know what? I just had an idea. You people still showing up for these streams? I get like 20 plus people when I'm doing like a cancer stream. And I'll get like 10 when I'm doing something I might actually have fun with. Because people are coming here to watch me fucking bleed. I know it. I don't even judge them for it. I would want to watch me bleed too. I don't deserve nice things. I understand that. But I'm just want to put this out there that, you know, maybe I should reward you loyal guys. I should reward you people that, you know, show up for this fucking bullshit. Going drunk and miserable and hating the entire world. I should. I should. And so, maybe tonight, before I finish up, I'll go find the next Wingman book and start reading it. Out loud. So you can hear my fucking pain. In full. That sound good to you guys? Hippity hoppity and say hello to your trajectory. Alright. Gonna get a little lead time here. Come on. Be a good girl. Where the fuck is that prograde marker? Come on. I know you're here somewhere, baby. Don't hold out on me, baby. There we go. 53, 52. Usually rule of thumb for Kerbin at least. Whoops-a-daisy. What the fuck? I have my controls set up for true space control, where instead of inverted like it is for normal flight, up actually moves your fucking nose up, down actually moves your nose down. So, sometimes it takes a second for me to remember that it's not like an atmospheric ship. The default controls have it set up like a plane, and which is not helpful, because spaceships just fucking work different. In real life, the joystick on this fucking space shuttle controlled it like so. I'm sorry, that's just the way it fucking worked, guys. Don't know what you want to fucking tell me, nerds. I mean, come on, right? not going to make orbit, I don't think. Just didn't have the Delta V. Oh well, it was a good try. 140,000 short. Yep. Well, we're probably going to come down in an interesting biome. There we go. Where are we right now? What's the biome? Mountains. Oh, we're going to flip this whore bitch end for end. I wonder if I could EVA right now. No, apparently not. Fuck you. I don't have it pinned, actually. Why don't you? I'm lazy. And I can look at this if I need to. I remember when this goddamn thing would show you the fuels like all tanks. Like there'd be 1,000 little icons doing the thing. It was fucking crazy, man. No, flip like this, bitch. Flip. Flip! Do a flip! Bigot! Come on, come on. Alright, fuck this. There we go. Heat shield doing its job. Now you're gonna see what I say about the ablator. That's gotta be more than enough for this. Look at how fast we're shedding speed. I don't even have SAS enabled because I don't have a pilot. This is some fucking pro... This is pro PvP here, right, man? That's right, this is pro KS motherfucking P. Well, until things started blowing up. Gee, you got my drift. You got my drift. I don't actually need the extra parachutes at the moment. Unless those are science instruments with all the science I was trying to fucking... Yeah, that'd suck. There we go. Yeah, that's probably all the science I fucking went for, right? Actually, I didn't actually go anywhere new, so... Nope, looks like I kept all the damn, yeah. Yes, I did. I actually had kept all the science worth a damn. We were still flying half a ship, right? If it's good enough for Wizanon, it's good enough for us. I think I'm... You know, I don't even have to jettison it. I'll just save the cost of the fucking heat shield because I got extra parachutes. Can't see shit, Captain. Can't see shit, Captain. So that was a waste of money. Yeeyehaeaoroauf? Kind of. Like siege engines? Or let me put it this way, Yeeyehaeaoroauf. Minecarts are Toadie's gift to us. Minecarts. If I actually had a siege once, and I was tired of these motherfuckers. So I set up some tracks in the small walled-in area I have outside, and I angle the ramps up at the end. I use an exploit called the corner ramp exploit to get extreme acceleration. Yeah, exactly. Basically a minecart railgun. But the real genius was at the end of the minecart railgun, I put a ramp. And the game, Toadie, actually fucking implemented this. in code, minecarts actually travel through Z levels in kind of a parabolic arc. They actually move the way they should. And so I had just had to get the spacing in the right. And once I got it roughly in the right direction, I was able to start launching minecarts that would arc through the air in a perfect parabolic trajectory and just fucking crash into these motherfuckers. And when I really decided to get pissy was I started bringing up steel minecarts loaded with lava. It worked! It fucking worked! Wow, 67 science. That's actually a really good haul. Tracking station. Woo! Space. Nobody fucking cares. Oh my god. Ghost, not the flood chamber. War Sharks, that's beautiful, but I can do you one better. Way back when, in 40D, when steam was dangerous and painful and scalding, I created something called the veggie cooker. Basically, once an elven trade caravan came into my trade depot, and eventually elven war parties, I slammed the doors on them, and in the chamber below, I would introduce lava to its arch nemesis, water. This produced tremendous amounts of steam, extremely hot, scalding steam that would then rise up into the trade depot through strategically placed grates. Thus, the veggie cooker. Oh, I miss the veggie cooker. I wish Toady would restore steam to its previous ingenious. The number one rule of Dwarf Fortress is that everything can be weaponized. Science. Science. Yes, actually, I do. I like dog bombs. I like Doberman bombs. They're handy. They're effective. They do the job. They do the job. Let's see. That actually should be enough. Engines. What engines do I have? Do I have a... Yes, I got the small engine now. All right, I think we can do this. This is a very efficient little bastard. You can actually make a more minimalist orbital capable rocket than this. It's actually not that hard. It is entirely fucking possible. Look at this. Why the fuck is this decoupler? Why would it do that? See, this game fucking hates you, and the auto-staging logic wants you to weep tears of blood. It just does. It hopes you fucking die. It hates you. In every possible fucking way, it hates you. Alright. That'll have to do. That'll have to do, pig. That'll have to do. Let's see if I can upgrade the fucking astronaut complex so I can do fucking EVAs. 182,000? I should be able to. Well, let's see. That'll do the trick.
Oh,
Okay, cool. Fuck you. Max Lie, KSPG died. Ha ha ha. Oh shit. Have you guys seen that fucking post from Max when he talked about the KSPG general and like the shit he saw in just like the first fucking day? Like, talk about a hero of a fucking developer. This motherfucker actually engaged with the 4chan community. I want you all to just fucking think about what I just said there. He engaged with the 4chan community. Do you understand the kind of heroism that takes? I would sell out to. I mean, he fucking deserved to. My man, he fucking deserved it. The slings and arrows of outrageous dweebs he suffered. Can you judge him? I can't. He did his time in hell, my man. He did his time in hell. He had to escape. I can't blame him. He just fucking escaped. And let's not forget, there was this entire trend for a while where they actually wanted to play in the whole lol Kerbal thing to the extent that they actually wanted the fucking Kerbal launch facilities to be a barn. Farmer Jeb. That was a fucking thing. Someone thought that was a brilliant fucking idea. Max pushed back against that. If it wasn't for Max, we would literally be playing Farmer fucking Jeb. So I just... Did that fucking decoupler fire? It did. What the action? Yeah, Hyperion, that... I don't even know how to explain it better than that. That's just what actually fucking happened. Coupler fires. Yeah, that shouldn't be a fuck. What the fuck? Maybe I just hit the stage thing early. That's probably what I did. Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it? That should be down to your planning. Pilot skill, I think, is pretty well balanced the way it works right now. Technically, the 3 original Kerbals will come back to life mysteriously a while after they die. Who fucking cares, though? Fuck Jeb. Fuck you, Jeb! I have a really nice mod that lets you level up your Kerbals in flight without having to come home. It's useful. Now I'm trying to do a gravity turn, but I don't actually have maneuverable control surfaces or fucking additional control motion gyroscopes except for the one that's actually in the thing, and I think I used an LVT-30. Yep, should have used 45. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Technically, 2 roops they will. I remember some versions ago, someone actually managed to make a functional Orion drive rocket on that very concept. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Great minds think alike, my friend. Yeah, they've actually fucking pulled it off. I think it was a guy that actually did fucking Project ORHO. They're a really nice website and resource for science fiction authors. I love that site. It's a really good site. Really comprehensive, constantly updated. Only other thing I've ever taken issue with on that entire site is that I don't think he bills himself well enough when he talks about respecting science. Because to the uninitiated, it sounds too much like sucking science's dick instead of the better lesson, which is also on his site, by the way, of exploiting science to do more of the work for a science fiction author. Like, he actually, he does it on his own website. He talks about how, listen, faster than light travel, because of, the way general relativity works, is effectively time travel. And time travel, or a closed time-like curve, is not technically impossible under Newtonian physics. So if you were able to, for instance, figure out a way to do time travel, you would effectively have a method of faster than light travel. That's a beautiful example on his own site that he goes, explicitly mentions of how science itself can solve problems for a sci-fi author. You don't have to just shrug your shoulders and say, okay, I'm going to have to invent some bullshit to let me have my way. You don't have to, because science itself has some mechanisms to achieve this. And I just wish that he would be able to, or when he puts respecting science, that section could be rewritten slightly to say, listen, the endless possibilities open to a writer is one of the most crippling aspects of writing. The blank page is the most intimidating thing for a writer. Ask me how, I fucking know. See, this little engine is fucking great because the specific impulse and vacuum is so fucking great. Excellent second stage. But in any case, so in science, by being able to, the limits of scientific, possibility, greatly limit the possible outcomes or potentials for faster than light travel or whatever. They automatically define the scope of your setting and all the potential therein. And that is an incredible boon to a writer. And that should be exploited. That's the only complaint I've ever had with Project ORHO. The only other part that I have not entirely agreed with is his section on stealth in space, which doesn't really get the point. Whoops-a-daisy. A little high there. Let's see. Time aspiosis, 11 minutes, 10. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, whoop! How much fuel I got? Plenty. Half a fucking tank? Holy shit. His stealth in space, someone actually criticized it with the math, and they did a pretty good job. He did not get his mathematics, or his mathematics are fine, but his assumptions going into the mathematics were badly wrong. When he's trying to calculate how brightly a ship is going to glow on thermals. And he also doesn't understand how sensors work when it comes to military sensors. He really does. There we go. Entered orbit, completion awards, whoopity whoopity woo, yeah, fucking, we're fucking badass. And we can also do the EVA. Hallelujah. Keep the experiment. Board the ship. And, I'm too drunk to explain it properly, I guess. But suffice to say that he's a little cavalier with the whole stealth in space thing. If I can remember, what was that anime movie about the warship, or it's a space warship that belongs to a nation that is conquered in a surprise attack, and they manage to run off alone and save their nation single-handedly. And the way they do it is by partnering with a fucking reality TV show that provides the funding. If you guys can remember the name, I think not Gunbuster, I think it's something else. But it's a fantastic anime movie. But one of the best parts of the fucking movie is when they're up against a space submarine, which uses stealth in space. But the limitations of this is that to conceal its heat signature, it basically has to sink all its heat in a heat sink internal. And because of that, well, it's limited in how fast it can go, and how it basically has to do a quick acceleration and then coast to the target. And when you're talking about a setting where you have fusion torches available, most ships do constant acceleration. So Suffice it, the Starship Operators. That was it. Thank you. Starship Operators, a great anime. But suffice to say, the space submarine in that movie is fucking perfect. It's fucking perfect because the limitations incumbent on the submarine are simple. To maintain stealth, it has to emit very little energy. Incidentally, this is also true of submarines on Earth. The faster you go, the noisier you are. The more energy you expend, the more energy is capable of being detected. It's acoustic energy instead of thermal energy, but effectively it's the same damn thing. And so the space submarine basically functions by coasting to its target, and thus it suffers many of the same limitations of a real-world submarine, which are simply that you can't go fast to cut off an enemy without being detected. You have to be in position in front of the enemy first. Now, in World War II, when submarines were basically submersibles, in other words, boats that were designed to go underwater, but really weren't designed to have their best speed underwater, and they had limited energy to expend underwater, this is a big problem. Your submerged speed is slow. Even modern submarines are obviously designed to spend all their time underwater. A modern diesel-electric submarine has some severe limitations when it comes to expending energy underwater because you can't run your diesels. You're limited to your batteries, and batteries' energy density is still pretty shit compared to diesel fuel. The modern trend of air-independent propulsion systems, in other words, a hydrogen power cell, has really helped with this, but still it's non-replenishable at sea. And they're not too bad. They have a better duration than you might think, but you might be able to run on them for like 2 weeks at most. And still, even for a nuclear-powered sub that's free of any of the energy constraints, you are still up against the fact that the faster you move, the louder you are. So the space submarine in that show fucking perfectly exemplified the difficulties facing actual stealth in space. You can achieve it. It is achievable, but at a cost. At a severe cost. And the way they were able to find the enemy ship in the anime is also true to life. They were able to backlight it. They set off a bunch of explosions with expensive warheads behind it. And they were able to pick out the shadow of the submarine, or the enemy ship, against those. Which is a real-life technique used against enemy submarines. It's called a hole in the water, where you use an enemy submarine's quieting against it. If you have a background source of noise, you can look for the place where the noise is interrupted. Just like if you're shining a light from behind something and you see a silhouette. That's the beautiful thing about physics. Even between different mediums that seem very different, the same basic rules apply. And energy is energy is energy. Stealth in space is absolutely possible. But you just have to understand that stealth in space is very much like stealth on Earth. In other words, it's not perfect, and it is a matter of comparative energy levels. Even like, say, a B-2 stealth bomber is entirely detectable by radar if it flies too close to the fucking radar. It's just that the amount of radar energy it returns is lower. So against a radar network that is overlapping stations that can detect anything flying through it, the effective detection radius against a B-2 Spirit bomber is shorter. And that creates gaps in the effective detection range that the weapon can exploit. But if you try to fly a B-2 Spirit directly over a radar site, it's going to be fucking detected. It's absolutely going to be fucking detected. There's no getting around that. Let's see if we can. We're going to get as much as we can. Oh boy, we're all out of yellow electric charge. Oh shit. The thing doesn't have an alternator. Fuck me, doesn't it? Does it not have an alternator? Oh shit, we're fucked. Alright. Actually, no, we're not. We're drifting slightly. That'll save us. I don't know, Ghost. I got some ideas on that, but I'll tell you about that later. But yeah, and another thing about Project ORHO that I don't like is the entire dismissal of space fighters. Space fighters are entirely possible. There are two possible scenarios for space fighters which can be combined. Number one, Blue Water Navy. A space fighter. I think BattleTech, yet again, in many respects, BattleTech has nailed the entire aesthetic. BattleTech has nailed the entire fucking aesthetic. Oh wait, I got an idea. EVA. Alright. We're going to try to push the nose of this bitch. Whoops, it did. Yet again, BattleTech nailed it when it came to control. There we go. Boom. Come on, asshole. Whoops, it did. Control. In other words, basically, BattleTech fucking nailed the aesthetic when it came to aerospace fighters. Vessels that are basically fighters, conventional fighters, that are capable of also operating in a vacuum because of their power plants. Now, when they are in vacuum, they are operating in a very different fashion compared to a normal fighter, because they're in a different medium. Big fucking shock there, right? Fuck this. I keep fucking things up. Sorry, I'm drunk. I didn't realize that a fucking transmission... It used to be that the fucking transmission would not drain the entire fucking ship. I didn't want to sit around and fucking wait for the goddamn thing to point its nose in the right direction. Anyways, the aerospace fighters or whatever are brilliant, because basically, think of them as the Brown Water Navy. They have great importance when you're fighting in an atmosphere. They are like they're small, capable, nimble vessels that can move from the motherships, and they can go into an atmosphere and mix it up in a dogfight. And because the planets you're most likely to be fighting over are planets that are going to have fucking, oxygen atmospheres of a sufficient density for human life, the aerodynamic design is going to be pretty similar. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. The second use of aerospace fighters or space fighters, when you're in space, since it's the exact same medium, it's not like ships versus aircraft, for instance. Since you're in the exact same medium, the proper analogy for a space fighter is a torpedo boat, right? And when you are not able to maneuver with aerodynamic surfaces and exploit, the big advantages an aerodynamic craft has over a waterborne craft on Earth, well, your advantages basically come down. They're greatly reduced. You're not enjoying a massive paradigm shifting advantage. Your advantage lies more in the simple fact that your only mass is combat mass. Fuel, weapons, control system, right? Life support, the pool hall, the mess hall, the fucking library, the porn stash, all that bullshit is left back on the mothership. But at that point, what point is there in having a human pilot in the damn thing? Especially in a predetermined trajectory. It's mainly a matter of missile intercept, distributing targets, stuff that computers could handle better, right? It's not the kind of quick changing situation in which a human is really useful as a decision maker, right? Because you're basically sending. What's the difference between a space fighter at that point and a drone, a gun drone? And the honest truth is nothing. And so my personal headcanon for how space fighters should be is that they should be modular units that have a cockpit slot. And into this cockpit slot, you can install one of two things. You can install a cockpit for an actual fighter pilot, which has inertial compensation equipment, if your setting includes gravity manipulation, minimal life support, and everything needed to actually support a human pilot. Or into this same modular slot, you can install another component that contains the biggest, most effective computer that can be fit into the mass and power limitations of the space fighter. And depending on the situation, if you are engaged in deep space, you will deploy this as a swarm of drones that will enjoy an effective delta V advantage over the target because they are maneuvering without having to worry about the extra mass of life support and other long-term support stuff and crew and all that bullshit. They have a very limited mission. And they are actually accelerated at the target from the mothership by a gigantic mass driver, which deaccelerates the mothership at the same time to ensure that the drone fleet will reach the target first. Easy peasy. And when you are in orbit of a planet and you are launching a space to ground assault to land troops and stuff, then you send actual fucking fighter pilots. Highly trained individuals that know how to maneuver their ships in both zero-G, atmosphere, and the thin air interface between them. Because that is a realm in which maneuvering and instincts and shit like that actually matter. And as we're already seeing in real life, with unmanned teaming, a single manned fighter can actually enjoy the. Whoops! Did I fuck up again? Yes, I did. God damn it! I was looking at time Aspiosa. I didn't realize I'd already passed it. So yeah, basically, you ignore my fucking. I'm too drunk to keep track of what I'm fucking doing in the goddamn game. But yeah, so basically, it's not too fucking hard to envision this. There are plenty of use cases for actual space fighters, and if you look at it logically, I mean, the differences. And we're looking at this right now in our own world. For instance, what is the difference, for instance, between a guided missile and a kamikaze drone? Really, what's the difference? Right now, that difference is mainly speed. Missiles tend to be faster. That's it. That's really it. And really, if you look at the history of drones, you'll see a lot of drones are like, for example, look at the Harpoon missile. Look at how big the wings are on the Harpoon. Not very fucking big. It's mainly a missile. And yet it's supposed to be a cruise missile. Compare that to the fucking pop-out wings on a Tomahawk. It needs those wings for the lift. It's got shit. It's got distance to cover. And yet, if you look at the earlier generation of drones, like the German drone that what's-his-face used in that goddamn shitty book I reviewed, the Wingman thing, it basically looks like a Tomahawk missile, minimal lift surfaces. So the differences are quite fluid. A perfect example would be that little drone that the Polish armed forces have bought a shit ton of recently. That has an interchangeable payload module. It can either have a camera mounted on the front for reconnaissance, like, a traditional drone, or you can swap that out for a fucking explosive and turn it into a one-use missile. I mean, same differences. What's the difference between a long-distance kamikaze drone and just a long-distance missile? Not much. In some sci-fi settings, they actually, I think it was The Expanse, where they call long-distance weapons or torpedoes, and then at some point they actually refer to something as they're in guided missile range now. And that was your clue in to the fact that torpedo simply refers to a weapon, a missile, that has the delta V and guidance capability to take care of itself over long distances, and shorter distances you refer to something as a guided missile. It's going to be faster because it doesn't need the fuel efficiency, so it trades the fuel efficiency and the range for the speed to intercept the target and avoid point defense. That's all it is. At some point, when you're all working in the same medium, these distinctions become quite arbitrary. I completely forgot to remove the alternator from the little LV909. For years, that thing had an alternator, and you can get away with what I did in that last thing there. But they kind of pulled a fast one on me there. Drones are recoverable cruise missiles. Exactly, troops. Exactly. As a matter of fact, the fucking Soviet, or not the Soviets, so yeah, they're Soviets. Let's just call them Soviets. The quote-unquote Russians, they're pretty much Soviets in spirit, anyways. They were whining about the fucking Intermediate Nuclear Forces Treaty or whatever, and claiming that drones count as a fucking missile system. Now, I get their point. But at the same time, you can't just fucking redefine what a word means in a treaty. You just can't fucking decide, yeah, we're going to change the meaning to this word in this treaty. It's not how, and that's not how this works. That's not how fucking any of this works. I waited a little too long to go to terminal burn here. Oh my god, I'm already... Fuck! Keep fucking up. Too busy talking. Yeah, definitely the fucking alcohol. I'm not paying attention to anything I'm fucking doing. Honestly, though, these days it fucking takes. Oh my god, Turooks. Yes, I did. Those things are fucking nuts. Those things are fucking nuts. Those are impressive. A drone launched from what was effectively an SR-71 Blackbird. Holy shit. But, you know what I really like, I still think are fucking fascinating, are the drones we use in Vietnam. Reconnaissance drones. Technology is primitive, they only had inertial guidance, you pretty much programmed them and let them fly. You didn't have any of the shit you had available now. Not real-time control, GPS, all of that. The Firebee drones. Those things were fucking incredible. I think my favorite anecdote from those damn things was the one where somebody, when they were programming it, fucked up and dropped to 0. So instead of going in at 1,500 feet, the goddamn thing went in at 500, or not even 500, 100 feet. Supposed to be 1,000 feet, they went in at 100 feet off the ground. And it fucking made it back to base. It was just luck that it didn't fly through a goddamn mountainside. The CIA dudes checking out the pictures, they started checking the pictures. They shit a brick and they're like, wait, why the fuck are we looking at power lines from underneath? But yeah, the history of unmanned weaponry is fucking fascinating. The first true unmanned weapon was invented before World War One. I think it was the Ryan Firebee, actually, or basically, and it was called the aerial torpedo. Was another term for it. They have an example or a replica in the U.S. Air Force Museum. Literally just a model airplane with a little engine and everything, with a bomb attached to it and a timer to make it shut off at a certain range and fall in the general direction of the city or the big complex or industrial complex you were targeting. In terms of effective accuracy, it was basically a V-1 buzz bomb, invented before World War I by Americans. And the fascinating thing about it was that to make this work was not nearly as simple as it sounded, because they needed to invent an autopilot to automatically adjust for buffeting wind and things like that. It turned out that wasn't as easy as it sounded. And they were doing this in the age before even the most basic mechanical computers really existed, pre-World War I. Some motherfucker invented a system that utilized fucking springs and weights and ball bearings and stuff without even a gyroscope to work with. And it worked. It kept this goddamn thing on target. Sperry aerial torpedo, thank you, Hyperion, for looking that up for me. Absolutely incredible stuff. I don't think it was used operationally, or if it was, it wasn't used much. But it goes to show just how none of the ideas we are implementing as weapons are new. When it comes to humanity in any realm, including warfare, our reach greatly exceeds our grasp. I think the best example I've ever fucking seen, that'll do. 180,000, that'll definitely do. The best example I have ever seen would have to be, I think it was, too drunk to remember, H.G. Wells, I believe it was. Or maybe it was Jules Verne. I can't remember H.G. Wells or Jules Verne. H.G. Wells, I believe, wrote a story. Or no, it was Jules Verne. He wrote a story called The Land Ironclads. Basically, he predicted the tank. But that's not the fascinating thing about the story. If you can look it up in the Gutenberg Project right the fuck now. That is not the fascinating thing about the land ironclads. The fascinating thing is that he also predicted two other things incumbent to the entire idea of an armored fighting vehicle. He predicted the tactics that would be used with them and how they would succeed in combat. In other words, he predicted blitzkrieg. As he put it, he had to explain why didn't these big things get the shit blown out of them by field howitzers, which would be pressed into service as anti-tank guns. And his explanation is quite simple. Basically, they overran the enemy, and by the time the enemy knew what the fuck was going on, they didn't have time to organize and resupply, so every single in-placed gun had to make their own play of it on the spot, and generally it was a poor play indeed, as he put it. So basically, blitzkrieg. That is exactly what blitzkrieg was. It was benefited mainly from the shock and awe value of overwhelming an unprepared enemy. And the second thing he predicted, he talked about the nature of the troops in combat. The side that got their ass kicked was described more in a Spanish way. They had this, they were kind of these roughshod men from the countryside that had a pride in rough and tumble combat. So personal combat to them, was honorable, and they detested this dishonorable business of fighting behind armor. And yet, as he put it, the enemy were engineers. They viewed violence as this troublesome thing to be dealt with as any other problem in as efficient a manner as possible. They didn't really give a shit about personal honor or whatever. And intriguingly, Jules Verne actually pointed out, or in his opinion, he said, basically said that the character of those those lily-livered pasty white engineer boys standing around drinking coffee outside of their land ironclad. He said there is something respectable and honorable about them too. And that was an exchange that happened as the defeated men that have surrendered are watching these guys chat it up outside of their land ironclad. One of them says, what a bunch of cowards, and another man says, well, it said, I sure hope our side starts building these damn things quick too. That's what's the most. I use this for a paper actually for my college sci-fi class. My professor actually wanted to sponsor me for the undergraduate symposium. He was so impressed. Unfortunately, that was my senior year. That was my final year at the university. So, and the symposium I'd have to do the next year, so I didn't have the option. But I use that in the paper where I talked about how military sci-fi is a window into entire societies, because with the military conflict, existential survival is the number one responsibility of any nation state. And so a nation state naturally, especially in the age of total warfare, turns its entire corpus of resources towards its survival, towards the war effort. And because of that, you can see in how a nation state wages war basically the fucking DNA of its entire society. And my argument with it, military sci-fi, which is often not given much respect in sci-fi circles, it's more considered like, lasers and ray guns, pulp bullshit. But in reality, it really does touch more on the military sci-fi actually reflects actual military engagements quite well. And I have found this to be pretty accurate across places. One of the most fascinating things I read was another Jules Verne story. Now, Jules Verne, you will recall, was a Frenchman. He wrote the particular story I'm talking about. He wrote it shortly. I should have brought a mobile science bay up here with me. I got the Delta V for it. He wrote a story shortly after the Franco-Prussian War in the 1870s. It was set in America. And the context I'm not entirely familiar with, but basically it boiled down to, the excerpt I read, it boiled down to there being two effective city-states in northwest of California, that kind of area, pretty much independent city-states. And one of these city-states hosted a mad German scientist who's kind of a fucking prick. And his young acolytes were scientists, but they're also sane people themselves. And they fucking fled when they realized this crazy cunt wanted to build a city gun. Again, this is presaging the fucking Paris gun, which is quite impressive. But I should also point out this was not unprecedented. Back in the days of the early black powder cannons, there was such a thing as a city gun. A gigantic fucking cannon as big as they could build that could range out even further than any of the mobile cannon that any possible besiegers could carry. Long story short, the Johto cannon in Final Fantasy VII actually has historical precedent. They would actually have a gigantic cannon, singular in nature and number, that would defend the entire city. So Jules Verne is drawing an actual historical precedent here when he wrote this. And so the German acolytes, the young scientists, they flee to the other city-state that this German scientist had a gigantic haterade hard-on for. And they warned them, guys, these crazy motherfuckers are going to shell you with a gigantic supergun, shades of the Iraqi supergun and the later V3 project supergun, from a long distance. And it was absolutely fascinating to me. Jules Verne wrote about Americans two things. He said, usually a couple dudes shouting crazy shit in the street like this would be discounted in Europe. He said, but for two reasons, the Americans took them seriously. The first reason was that in America, scientific and technological advances came so frequently and so common that they were inclined to believe fucking anything. The second reason was that the people proclaiming the mad scientist stuff was speaking in a German accent. Jules Verne was mocking the American tendency to believe any crazy ass science shit because the Germans said it in the 1870s. Until then, until I read that story, I had always thought the entire documented fascination with like German Nazi wonder science was a result of the Second World War. But Jules Verne was poking fun at that cultural tendency of ours in the 1870s. Fascinating, isn't it? Anyways, as the story goes, the young scientists calculate that their mentor, who is crazy and evil, has fucked up. As it turns out, his super gun is too powerful, and the shell it fires actually goes into fucking orbit. Yes, into orbit. They knew about fucking orbital trajectories in the 1870s. And later, the guy trying to refine his technology is trying to make chemical artillery shells with poison gas in them. Another fucking advancement Jules Verne predicted well before the First World War, and he is eventually undone by his own weaponry because the tempered glass that he's using to contain the gas in the shells, and this is true, tempered glass at the time, they hadn't quite worked out all the kinks of it, it was prone to breaking at funny times. The tempered glass actually fucking fails on him and blows up in his laboratory and kills him. But that story alone, just from the entire tendency of Americans to believe anything a German says, is absolutely hilarious to me because there is a documented incident after World War II when Werner von Braun was working for the Americans, building, rockets to get to the moon and ballistic missiles and that shit. And he finally, after being bugged about this shit time and time again, he turned to his American handlers and said, "Why don't you walk across the fucking road to Jet Propulsion Laboratories and ask John fucking Goddard this question? Your own fucking scientist knows more about it than me." And he sat and I said, "Listen, when we built the V2 rocket, we literally fucking stole John Goddard's design for the gyroscope. We ripped off his patent. You have the man that invented this shit in the next fucking building. Stop bothering me." That's how deep these cultural trends are. And these cultural trends abso-fucking-lutely manifest in how we wage war. For that same article I used as an example, that same paper I wrote, I used an example from World War II magazine, a brilliant article about German tank production. Wow, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm reading the book right now called The Wages of Sin, which are all about the German wartime economy, which really get into detail about this shit. But suffice to say, holy shit, the Germans did not manage their fucking economy very well at all. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, it was some piss poor shit, my lads. And one of the biggest problems was, they didn't, the Wehrmacht actually had a prohibition against giving contracts to any company that utilized fixed tooling until 1943. In case you're unaware, fixed tooling means that your machine tools have the bits and drivers and stuff permanently affixed in place. It's more efficient, they last longer, they're harder. A machine tool with interchangeable bits, they're not as sturdy, they don't last long, they don't produce as fast. But the Germans wanted the ability to fucking muck with shit all the time. The American strategy for production was simple. you're constantly coming up with new upgrades to your design as field expedient reports filter back, as your engineers work on the problem, as new technology is developed. You start adding these design changes up to a master document, and once you've accumulated a good number, then you shut down the production line, you alter the machine tools, you resume production. The Germans, on the other hand, would bring their entire fucking production line to a fucking halt for the equivalent of adding the fucking light to the glove box. As a picture in the World War II magazine article shows, see how these final tanks are sitting here awaiting servicing? He said, look at this tank. He said, that white X on the side means it's done. This is not something you're going to see in a fucking Soviet factory. Okay? They don't have to fucking mark a tank with a white X to indicate it's done. You can tell the tank's done by the fact that all the fucking parts are bolted onto it. Why do they set up gantries next to them? Because that fucking tank isn't going anywhere for a while. The entire meme of, Germans being super autistic engineers is true. These stereotypes come from somewhere. They don't just fucking show up out of the thin blue sky. And in World War II, this is exemplified by the way they produced shit. It really is. That is their culture. That is their cultural mores of perfectionism coming to the fore when it comes to how to produce stuff. And this cuts the other way, too. One of the other stories I used for that, God bless my family, to write this article, I was short on time, I was desperate. I literally walked into my home's basement, and I started hunting around on an old table I remember was set up somewhere that had a whole bunch of old sci-fi books on it. Guess what I found? I found a fucking sci-fi book, a random anthology that had everything in it that I needed. One of the stories in this military sci-fi anthology I found just randomly in my basement was one about a ambassador that's being sent to make first contact with an alien species. Right? And before he's allowed to leave, a bunch of meddlesome motherfuckers, bosses, administration say, we're worried about your safety, so you have to wear this, the ProTech. It's a gigantic force field generator that he's got to wear as a backpack. And worse, the motherfuckers actually strap it to him, and the straps don't have releases. It's permanently strapped to him. It's meant not for him to be able to remove it at all. Can you fucking imagine that? So if whenever it detects that he's being threatened, it will generate a gigantic force field. So he's fucking pissed, but he gets to the alien civilization. He's making contact or offering him, the ritual foods, the ritual handshakes, all this shit. And every time he tries to just politely interact with these people, the fucking ProTech generates this gigantic force field, this opaque black field. It's fucking everything up for him. Everything up for him. And finally, the aliens, who are primitive like a tribal culture, they're not as advanced as we are, they eventually conclude that this thing has to be evil. And so they actually start throwing spears and rocks at him and shit. Which, of course, activates the ProTech. And then they start building campfires. Right? And they start pushing him closer and closer. And the dude realizes he's fucked. Because the force field is completely impenetrable even to the atmosphere. And if they can bring the force field or the fires close enough, what's going to happen is that the ProTech is going to activate permanently. And it's never going to shut off, and he's literally going to fucking suffocate inside of this fucking thing. And so finally, desperate, he pulls out his equipment, his survival knife. He cuts the straps off. And when the thing finally deactivates, the 30 is like 5-minute timeout time or whatever it is. Why the... Oh, I didn't enable fuel crossfeed? Oh, that was stupid of me. Well, I'm drunk. Fuck you. In any case, I got 2 parachutes still. That should do the trick. In any case, he cuts the straps off and he runs away from the Protect, and they take him out before he can get too far with a thrown club. And when he wakes up, he says to his alien captor, "Well, just get it over with and kill me." And the alien says, "Why would we do that, my friend?" And he points to you had a demon on your back. Every time we tried to help you or to get closer to you, the demon would throw up this force field, and you didn't seem to know that it was on your back. We had to force you to confront the demon and cast it off. And he points outside, and you can see there's the force field of the Protect unit with the campfires all around. He says, "We were very proud that our tribe has managed to capture such a powerful demon." He says, "I don't suppose you have more of these demons that we could capture to demonstrate our social worth to the other tribes?" And the story finishes with the dude saying, "Well, we finally found an effective use for the Protect." And I used this story as a sci-fi analogy for the D-Day invasions. The D-Day invasions were a clusterfuck. An absolute, unmitigated clusterfuck. So much newfangled technology we were counting on to save the day. Everything from the super cool assault harnesses, like the first version of the modern load-bearing vest we invented, except the ones we invented back then didn't work worth a damn. And, or see the leg bags that the airborne troopers wanted to utilize. They loved those things. They're supposed to drop free in a strap to dangle below you and land before you did, so you wouldn't take the full brunt of the landing, so you could cram more equipment into them. And some guys loaded those things up with everything, like the 82nd and 101st Airborne. And guess what? No one had fucking tested them properly. The brakes, or the opening shock of the chute, actually snapped the fucking strap in the leg bags. Some dudes landed in enemy territory with a fucking pistol and nothing else, because they had trusted too much of that fucking leg bag. Yeah. And then there is the duplex drive tanks, many of which floundered in the heavy weather. Contrary to reports, the tanks were not useless at D-Day. Most of them made it to the beach, either on duplex drive or because the other skippers saw that their tanks were floundering, and they opted to just bring their tanks in directly. And without the tanks on the beaches, the D-Day invasion would have been a failure. It's one of the many falsehoods that persist in D-Day lore, even in things like Saving Private Ryan, right? But I digress. All this fancy fucking technology that we counted on to carry the day, it failed. Utterly. And what actually carried the day at D-Day was the exact same thing that the Japanese put too much fucking faith into. The fighting spirit of the individual soldier. America does have our own failings, and our failing would be an over-reliance and overconfidence in the power of technology and equipment and firepower. Many have been the enemy, again, the Imperial Japanese, who assume that Americans are cowards, and once you can get to us in person, once you can strip away our firepower and our superior technology that we lean on, and we do lean on it, it's a cultural failing of ours, then we're going to be cowards that will be easily defeated. And time and again, these enemies have been proven bitterly and egregiously wrong. The Somalis that took on Gary Gordon and Randy Shuggart during the Black Hawk Down incident. The two Delta Force snipers who volunteered to walk into hell alone, just with each other, to try to save the crew of a downed helicopter, and who died fighting off an endless horde of enemies. They would be a fantastic fucking example of how it is a major mistake to assume that Americans are cowards. But it's worth noting that we ourselves, as Americans, historically, have fucked this analysis up. We have often placed too much confidence in technology and have been surprised when it is actually the fighting spirit of our own soldiers that carries the day. So I'm not saying Americans are superior. We also have our blind spots. And military science fiction, in my humble opinion, has done an excellent job of exploring these issues. Let me read the chat real quick. Yes, Turup, I like that point you make. I have seen that mentioned many, many times. Going into World War II, America was still primarily an agricultural society. We weren't that industrialized, but compared to everybody else in the world, we were abso-fucking-lutely industrialized. We simply had a much greater number of young men who were familiar with a motor car. We knew what a fucking spark plug was. We'd grown up around them. We were roughly familiar with them. Germany enjoyed that advantage. Countries like Russia, France to some extent, others, Japan, did not have that many men who were as technically inclined just by upbringing. We had a severe advantage in that respect. A history book I read, forgive me, Twitch, if I insult anyone, but the saying at the time was the infantry consisted of Hicks, Micks, and Spicks. Because the Navy and the Air Force made a big argument that they should get the most technically inclined and highly educated, or the highest educated recruits. And so the greatest generation, when it came to the average rifle custodian, was represented by Hicks, Southerners, Micks, Irish immigrants, or of Irish descent, and Spicks, those of Mexican descent. Tells you something, doesn't it? The men that were doing the poor bloody infantry that suffered the most dangerous job, did the most grunt work, were not the average American. They were immigrants. But they performed fucking spectacularly. Eventually, the Army infantry argued that they did need more technically inclined troops, that the Navy and the Air Force shouldn't hog them all, and they were able to get them. And so the quality of the intellectual quality, I should say, of the average infantry recruit was increasing for the United States at the same time that Germany and Japan were starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel. Oh, definitely need that. Don't need that. General construction. Well, it'd be nice to have a launch plant, but we really need fucking flight control first. So, a lot of this is forgotten. I'll often come back to the example of the Japanese American unit that was formed and ended up fighting in, I believe they sent them to Europe because they didn't want to risk them in the Japanese theater in case they all turned traitor or some bullshit like that. This segregated Japanese American unit is the one that's fought, I believe, at the Battle of the Bulge or somewhere near there in the Hugueton Forest. They put in such an incredible performance. They earned more medals than several different units. Something like that. Just absolutely fucking amazing. And the same could go for the segregated African American units, like the Tuskegee Airmen. I've often argued that if we want to resolve all the problems of women in combat and sexual assault in the military, we should have segregated units, just women. And naturally, you're going to hear people screaming and crying and whining that, oh my God, that's segregated just like back in the racist days. And the retort is going to be, you do remember that those segregated units put in performances of such valor, courage, and selfless sacrifice that they absolutely forever shattered the racist narrative that these people could not compete with white men. So what are you afraid of? You know? But naturally, no one ever seems to make that argument because that's not the point, right? That's not the point. Do we already have a crew report for the pad? No, we don't. Cover that real quick. Yeah, not only that, not only were they shipped over in crates, a lot of them were flown over via Iceland. They had used Iceland as a stopover point to cross the Atlantic. A lot of them were flown by WASPs, women volunteer pilots. And shockingly, the men actually tried to sabotage their aircraft. They put sugar in the fuel tanks. There were some men that were threatened by the idea of somebody with a vagina flying an aircraft. That fucking crazy. Fucking nuts, isn't it? One thing that's often forgotten is Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss was actually a fucking political cartoonist during World War II. I have an entire book full of his cartoons from World War II, and holy fuck. In case you were not aware, Dr. Seuss did not fuck around. I am still posting some of his original political cartoons to retort to retard fucks on Twitter. Like the people that repeat the shit. Well, America provoked Japan into attacking by the oil embargo. Dr. Seuss actually did a fucking comic on this, where it shows the America represented by an eagle, and is standing in a brickyard full of bricks, and leaning against the fence around the brickyard with an amused smile on his face, and a little caricature of a Japanese man jumping up and down, shouting, "Give me a brick to bean you with, or I'll paste you with a pie." Dr. Seuss didn't give a fuck. And one of the things Dr. Seuss often wrote, one of my favorite comics of his, it showed a huge log pile labeled "War Work to be Done." And then it showed a man turning away, a black man, saying, "Sorry, we don't hire Negroes here." Right? And that was made during the war. That was made during the actual war. There's nothing like the threat of existential destruction to force people to re-examine their biases. And yet, even in the grips of war, that danger, some people would rather try to murder women than to change their worldview. Incredible, isn't it? "43 science? Oh, you dirty bastard. We need 45 to get the next thing, don't we?" Hold on, maybe we can upgrade so we can get fucking surface samples. It's science we need. Fuck, we need a half bill for that. Ugh. Nah, we don't want to do that. We'd be real short in money if we did that. Alright, what we need to do next is we need to upgrade the, we should probably upgrade the goddamn mission control before I get drunk and keep rambling about even less related bullshit. Alright. We got experiments around KSC. That's a basic bitch early game. Flight. 1,600. Fine, we'll take it. That's too high. That I can do. Way too high. Way too high. Just way too fucking difficult. These are boring fucking contracts. At times I have built rockets just to ferry tourists around. Basically just vessels meant for the cheapest, simplest, easiest delivery of fucking money. Base. Let's see. The default ComNet system is actually kind of nice. I like it. It's simpler than the super autism of the mod communication system. Let's fucking face that thing is autistic as fuck. Let's see if I can build a fucking. I think I can do a space plane that'll do the job. Let's see. Now I need the basic. Yeah. I'll have to wait till I get the first landing gear. We can build something that can scuttle around KSP mini biome to collect science. Alright, let's go back and look at our contracts. Available, active, parachute and flight, 1,600. Also, we should set up a strategy. Let's see, an administrative strategy. Let's see. That's the good one. Commit as much as possible to this. Money is easier to come by than science. Science enables more money. Setup cost? Jesus. We don't want to do that. $53, that should be enough to build this basic rocket to do some more shit. Actually, all we need to do is test the booster, right? Let's see. Contracts. Test Mark 16 parachute. Test this at the launch site. Hammer. Alright. Actually, we need more science, right? Well, let's take advantage of this to get more science. There we go. There we go, baby. Oh, look at all those passive science ground experiments. Yeah, baby. See if that works. I really like these extra science experiments. They really enhance the game. Because without them, I mean, a lot of the stuff we did historically, like just a basic fucking camera, like, you know, survey camera, you saw there. Oh, we finally got the inline reaction wheel. So nice. a whole bunch of basic shit's inaccessible. It's just kind of fucking silly. Alright. What? Why is it not manned? Come on, Bob, get your ass in that fucking thing. Retard. Mr. Andrews, you mean the fucking pilot? You mean they fucking... Oh my god, the fucking parachute deployed. Fuck auto stage logic. Fuck whoever coded auto stage logic. I hope they rot in hell. I hope they rot in fucking hell. Alright, we have successfully tested the booster. What else we're looking for? Right, you actually have to land. Use the landing site camera. Have to wait till we're in the water for that. I think we already got this, yeah. So you guys think I can land on the moon while I'm drunk off my ass? I think I can do it. I think I can fucking do it. I had to buy a pilot though, because I fucking murdered Jeb, but yeah, fuck Jeb. Fucking Jeb. Come on. Any month now, you bitch. Come on, come on. Don't you spin on me, asshole. Whoa. There we go. Good girl. Well, let's just roll this fucking barotherometry thing under the water. Nice. Give me that science. Oh, really? I'm not on land, so I can't use the camera? Yay! I can use this, though. Ryan? I don't believe that at fucking all. I think the loss of the plane is deliberate. I think some fucking bullshit's going on. Yeah, I believe that. Dude, you really need to be writing a fucking book about the shit going on in your small town. Like, holy shit. That is some fucking amazingly crazy shit. Science. Fuel systems. That's the part we need, my man. That's the part we need. But you know, we already also need batteries, something fucking fierce. We really need some fucking batteries. God damn. Alright, next order of business, let's get the material science bay into fucking orbit. Whoops, it is. Alright, let's start with this. Fucking Christ. I guess we're gonna be getting that gravity turn a little early, huh, lads? What the fuck? I can't tell you how many times I've had to do this fucking backflip maneuver. We're going to space today, whether you like it or not, you son of a bitch. And apparently in a polar orbit, because fuck it. Material bay is a pain in the ass because it's so fucking heavy. If I can't get from the upper atmosphere, I'm going to have to get from orbit, because that's more science. I didn't put a parachute on this fucking thing. Oh my fucking god. Right? Okay. I'm a retard. While we're at it, two of these. Utility. That should be enough to land this safely. No problem, no problem. We're good, we're good. Whoop. Just a little bit of back flipping. Normal, it's totally normal. I call it the pre-gravity turn backflip maneuver. Yeah. It's a very scientific and shut the fuck up. Yeah. How about that? Don't ask questions. Fuck you. Interview's over. Kiss my ass. Speaking of, what altitude we're supposed to test this fucking... Activate the part. 1,000... Under 6,000 meters, under 260. Alright, that works. What we're going to do is we're going to add a second action group. There we go. Is it painfully obvious that I'm hammered as shit flying these rockets? Yeah, I usually fly these a little better. I do. I honestly do. I usually fly a little better. But right now, I don't fucking give a shit. The fact they don't have SAS doesn't help because fucking Jeb. Fucking fuck Jeb. Oh dear, I didn't put a second stage engine on this, did I? That's right. I might not be able to make orbit. But we'll see. But I ask you, is this not more entertaining than watching me sober? Like, it'd be like, oh yeah, another dude, oh wow, he managed basic bitch orbit. Whoa. Right? Yeah, big deal. But this way you motherfuckers get entertained. Right? Am I wrong? Am I fucking wrong? Oh, really? There, a unique EVA report. We're fucking special now, my man. Alright. Now let's bring this bitch in. And I'm not going to be able to land it near KSC because I'm fucking drunk and it's a pain in the fucking ass even at the best of times. I do have a nice mod that actually fucking calculates atmospheric drag and orbital rotation for you. But I don't care right now. Fuck them. I mean, fuck all of them. Who gives a shit, right? Can't see shit, Cap. Ryan? I love my grandmother to death, but at the same time, she could be a bitch. So, you know what? Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? 80-year-old boomer. Bet she still thinks that coloreds and whites shouldn't breed together, right? uh, I should go camping. I should go enjoy the beauty of God's creation. Trees, nature, riotous life everywhere. Thermodynamic miracle of life. Mosquitoes, beetles, those spiders that can kill you with one bite. That our goddamn state has one of, even though we're not in the South. We shouldn't be that place, but we're that place when it comes to the evil spider from hell. Yeah, I should go into the woods to remind myself, no matter how much you try to worship nature, we exist on a death planet, full of incredible viruses and micro predators with venom and basically fuck you, because God hates you. God fucking tests, loathes, and despises you, which is why you were cast out of the Garden of Eden for the crime of being curious and thrown into this fucking nightmare hellscape. Because, you know, generally speaking, fuck you. Right? Yeah, that's fair. Whatever. Fuck you. Fuck this bullshit. Fuck everything. Alright, lads, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm sorry, but there's just been too much fucking bullshit tonight to put up with.